You didn't lose everything. You lost the version of yourself that was never strong enough to keep it. Most men think the worst moment of their life is the moment everything falls apart. The business fails. The relationship ends. The career they spent years building disappears beneath them. They call that defeat. Machiavelli wouldn't. He would tell you the collapse wasn't the tragedy. The tragedy would be spending the next 10 years rebuilding the exact man who created it. That's how people mistake survival for transformation. They change the city, but keep the same ruler. Carl Jung reached almost the same conclusion from a completely different direction. He believed the personality most people spend their lives protecting is often the very thing standing between them and who they could become. Which means the day that personality breaks isn't always the end. Sometimes it's the first honest beginning you've had in years. That sounds inspiring. It isn't. Becoming someone new feels like humiliation, confusion, losing control over a life you thought you understood. That's why most people never rebuild. They recover. Recovery returns you to who you were. Rebuilding demands you become someone you've never been. One restores comfort. The other destroys it before creating something stronger. When life collapses, most people ask one question: how do I get my old life back? Machiavelli would ask a different one: why would you want it back? If the structure could be destroyed by one season of bad fortune, maybe it never deserved saving. People become emotionally attached to identities that were only ever temporary. The businessman who believes he is his company. The athlete who believes he is his body. Each identity works until reality changes. And reality always changes. The Roman world Machiavelli admired was filled with rulers who believed their power would last forever. Almost none of it did. History wasn't unusual. It was simply honest. Nothing survives forever. The only question is whether the person underneath survives when it disappears. Machiavelli noticed that losing wasn't what separated great rulers from forgotten ones. Almost everyone lost eventually. The difference appeared afterward. Some men treated failure like a verdict. Others treated it like information. Success is generous. It covers weaknesses, rewards habits that don't deserve rewarding. Failure strips away every illusion success quietly allowed you to keep. Good fortune can make almost anyone look competent. Bad fortune cannot. That's why the strongest people often emerge from seasons that looked, from the outside, like complete ruin. Not because they suffered, but because suffering removed every excuse for pretending. But rebuilding creates a problem. Most people repair the visible damage while protecting the invisible cause. They fix the career, replace the relationship, improve their discipline, and a few years later find themselves inside a collapse that feels strangely familiar. Different faces, same ending. Long before you rebuild your future, you have to discover what deserved to collapse in the first place. Most people imagine rebuilding as adding something new, better routine, more discipline, more ambition. Machiavelli would say this is exactly where rebuilding goes wrong. Rebuilding doesn't begin with addition, it begins with removal. A kingdom can lose a war and still be ruled by yesterday's thinking. So can a man. That's why the first battle after collapse is never against the outside world. It's against everything inside you that wants life to return to how it was. Maybe I just need more motivation. Sometimes true. Most of the time it isn't. Working harder inside a broken system doesn't build a better future. It builds a more efficient version of the same mistake. Nobody would admire a man installing expensive windows before repairing a cracked foundation. Yet people do exactly that with their lives. Another book, another course, another 5-year plan, while the beliefs supporting everything remain untouched. Machiavelli believed sentiment is one of the most dangerous advisors a leader can have, because it tempts you to protect what should be abandoned. The businessman whose company failed still introduces himself through the success he lost. Nothing has changed externally. Everything remains controlled by the past. People call this loyalty. Machiavelli would call it surrender. Real power begins the moment the past loses authority over your present. This is also why rebuilding feels lonely. Not because you've become stronger overnight, but because growth quietly changes who still recognizes you. Not everyone around you wants the strongest version of you. Most don't realize it. People get comfortable with the role you've always played, the dependable one, the one who never says no. When that role disappears, resistance follows. Quietly, usually. A joke about how you've changed. An invitation back into habits you've already left behind. The people closest to you influence more than your schedule. They influence your standards, your emotional climate, your definition of normal. That's why the most important decisions during rebuilding are almost invisible. Fewer conversations, less chasing approval, less energy defending choices that don't need anyone's permission. But even after removing the wrong habits, one question remains. Why do intelligent people rebuild the same emotional patterns they swore they'd never repeat? Machiavelli can explain the strategy. He cannot explain the person carrying it out. For that, we leave politics behind, because the next battlefield is the human mind. Machiavelli teaches you how a kingdom falls. Jung explains why the king keeps rebuilding the same one. Jung believed what most people call their personality is a carefully assembled surface, designed to earn approval and survive expectation. He called it the persona. It isn't fake, it's useful. The problem begins when you forget it's a mask. At first, the mask works. People admire it, reward it. Over time, you stop wearing it. You start believing you are it. That's why collapse feels so personal. When life tears away the role you've been performing, it doesn't feel like losing a job or a title. It feels like losing yourself. But your true self didn't disappear. You mistook the costume for the man wearing it. Jung borrowed an alchemical word for this stage, Nigredo, the blackening. Before a stronger personality can emerge, the old one must lose its authority. That's why this stage feels dark. The habits that once gave you confidence stop working. Most people assume something has gone terribly wrong. Jung believed the opposite. Sometimes the psyche dismantles an identity because continuing to live through it would be even more destructive. The deeper problem is what you've hidden underneath the mask. Jung called it the shadow. Not evil, just every part of yourself you decided wasn't acceptable. The ambition you called arrogance, the fear you disguised as patience. Ignored emotions don't die, they move underground, and from there they influence your life without asking permission. That's why people repeat the same relationships, the same mistakes, wondering why life keeps repeating itself. It isn't life. It's the part of you you've never invited into the light. Most men respond by becoming harder, colder, building thicker walls. Jung warned this makes it worse. You aren't removing the shadow, you're giving it better armor. Self-awareness alone isn't enough either. The real work starts when you stop asking, how do I destroy this part of myself? And start asking, why did I need to hide it in the first place? Jung called the lifelong process individuation, not becoming fearless, becoming whole. A man whose identity isn't borrowed from success or performance, but built on something that stays standing after all of it disappears. Most people think they have to choose, become disciplined like Machiavelli's prince, or self-aware through Jung's psychology. Neither is enough alone. A man who builds discipline without understanding himself turns his routine into another mask, composed on the surface, still run by the same fears underneath. A man who understands every wound but never changes how he lives becomes an expert on his own suffering, not an architect of his future. Machiavelli teaches you how to reclaim order. Jung teaches you what deserves to be rebuilt once order returns. Without structure, insight disappears into chaos. Without insight, structure becomes another prison. Think about a wildfire tearing through an ancient forest. From a distance, it looks like death. But the fire clears away what stopped new growth from reaching the soil. Seeds that waited years suddenly get sunlight. Collapse works the same way. It removes every borrowed identity, every illusion that depended on favorable circumstances. until all that remains is the person who must decide what comes next. And that decision can't be borrowed. No book, no mentor, no philosophy can live it for you. Action begins where certainty ends. Reality is the only judge that never accepts excuses. It doesn't care how gifted you are or how many plans you've made. It only responds to what becomes real. That sounds harsh. It's actually liberating, because if reality rewards action instead of identity, your past no longer has the final vote. The collapse becomes evidence, not a label. Failure stops being a verdict and becomes information. And confusing the two has quietly ended more lives than failure itself ever has. This is why men who genuinely transform rarely become louder afterward. Their confidence gets quieter, less theatrical, because success is no longer carrying the burden of proving they deserve to exist. Certainty, it turns out, is the reward for movement, not the requirement for it. Your collapse was never asking one question, it was asking two. What needs to be rebuilt, and who is doing the rebuilding? Most people avoid that second question. They change locations, jobs, relationships, routines, but carry the same internal architecture into every new beginning. The scenery changes, the pattern doesn't. A true comeback isn't about returning to who you were before everything collapsed. That person already had their chance. A seed doesn't become a tree by protecting its shell. It has to break. There comes a moment when the identity that helped you survive becomes the identity keeping you small. Sometimes you have to let go of a version of yourself you spent years trying to become, not because it was worthless, but because it completed its purpose. Machiavelli would say a ruler who refuses to adapt eventually loses everything trying to preserve the past. Jung would say a person who refuses transformation becomes a stranger to their own potential. Different words, same warning. Don't stay loyal to a version of yourself that reality has already defeated. The man who looks into that mirror without immediately defending himself becomes almost impossible to stop. Not because he never fails again, but because failure no longer destroys his identity. That's real power. Not control over what happens outside you, control over who you become when it stops cooperating. Jung would add one more warning. Don't move forward just to escape your old self. Many people rebuild from hatred, becoming successful to prove someone wrong, disciplined out of shame. That creates results, but a fragile foundation, because the past is still driving. True transformation doesn't come from hating who you were. It comes from understanding them. The mistakes, the fears, the choices you wish you could undo, and using all of it as material for something stronger. You were never defeated. You were interrupted. A structure that couldn't survive had to come down. That wasn't the end of your story. It was the moment the story finally became yours. Stop asking, why did this happen to me? Start asking, what is this trying to make possible? Once you see collapse as information instead of punishment, you stop begging for the old life back. You start building the one that could only exist after it ended. The walls falling doesn't mean the kingdom is gone. Sometimes it means the wrong kingdom finally disappeared. Build again. But this time, don't rebuild the person who fell. Build the person who could survive the next storm. Because you weren't defeated, you were just unfinished.